VTubers. I heard of them. The VTuber boom has exploded to a point where it's starting to push this concept past the niche status. Many of these characters have achieved past 1 million subscriber count. YouTube feeds have clips from them popping from all over, not to mention the phenomenon is reaching globalization with the release of Hololive EN and now Nijisanji EN. Looking past official companies, this trend has inspired many, including myself, to take an independent approach to this idea. And now everyone and their grandma are VTubers. I became one too. I love VTubers so much, I dedicated my personal time and money into living the 2D life I always knew was my true home. I've been keeping a close eye on the sea, an idea ever since the Kizuna eye days, and it makes me happy so many people see value in the hobby that gave me so much joy. However, with such rapid growth, especially to the people in the West who aren't as familiar with their history, I feel like there is a lot of misconceptions. People who see these videos for the first time might be confused or annoyed, and I've noticed on several occasions, angry at their success, and even the people who are already fans, even big fans. I noticed a lot of wrong information being parroted, and I just feel like it's not beneficial to anyone. I'm not a historian or anything, nor can I say I'm an expert on VTubers either. And specifically tackling misconceptions that's easily debunkable, I suppose, by having tried it myself for a year and a half. And just a year ago, when I first started VTubing, and it wasn't as popular, I was actually often mocked or laughed at for what I decided to do. And it makes me sad, because if all you see at face value is a cute anime girl going boing, you miss out on so much. So, I wanted to talk about a misconception that honestly baffles me that it's so widespread, but it also opens up the conversation further in a productive manner. I'm talking about the misconception that VTubers do it for the money. What? What money? Sure, the official talents like Hololive and Nijisanji have an access to a platform that lets them stream to thousands of people right away. People love these girls, sending them incredible amounts of SuperChats and even purchasing Times Square billboards to dedicate their love for their favorite VTuber's birthday. But many seem to often look at these results and immediately jump to the conclusion that these companies are simply milking simp money, as capitalists do. And of course, that's part of the appeal indeed, if you can call it an appeal. But to dismiss everything about it to how bad can we be style of evil company actions, I think ignores a lot of the company's humble beginnings and the choices they are making for the future. These people didn't start with big money. And it'd be one thing if this was ancient history for these companies, but they only find rapid success just the past couple of years, and part of that was due to circumstance. Many talents they hire already have amazing talents that allow them to stand out among just anime girls, and they don't just contact big name people with their big company money for this job. No, they open applications for independent creators like me to join their team. You don't even necessarily need VTubing experience. And why do these independent creators get into VTubing? Because it's cool. It allows us to be creative in our self-expression past person yells at video game, and allows us to have a certain amount of boundary with the viewers for mutual benefit. A lot of the people who get into this hobby are anxious, but have a true love for making videos, music, art, or just gaming, and found it really helpful to attach their interest in it. Not only that, but the anime avatar also works as a filter. This is probably an unexpected side of the medium, but think back to when you first saw a VTuber clip or video. What did you immediately think? A person dedicates time to playing video games while playing an anime character. That's a high-level otaku play, as some people in the Eastern community pointed out. It's immediate what kind of space this is. It's a space by nerds for nerds. It's pretty obvious visually just what kind of content this is and who this appeals to. So if VTubers are just not your thing, if anime in general is just not your thing, you can easily recognize and avoid it, and that further helps the community that does enjoy the content to have less incidences where someone not suited for the environment gets angry and overwhelmed in chat. It's a win-win. Well, it's a win-win for the viewers. So, I mentioned that people, at least majority of independent people getting into VTubing, do it for passion. How do I know that? Because I tried it myself and it's expensive as hell. Let's look at what you need. Not even to create Hololive stream level of prep, but something you'd have to spend minimum for if you're looking for a desired effect. Luckily, in terms of technology, the VTuber boom allowed it to become more accessible. VTube Studio is the most commonly used free program that tracks your face and applies the movements to the avatar. That's cool, the program's free. but to track your face the best with it, you need a newer released iPhone. You can use a webcam, but I found definite improvement after I saved up for my own iPhone. And you're gonna need a model, the body you represent yourself with. Put aside the amount of time you probably want to spend on that, because that's the face of your videos and a reflection of yourself. The money, I would say the absolute cheapest you'll probably find is around $500, which is only if you find an artist starting out and willing to provide the service for basically no profit, putting into account how long it takes to make those things. I made my model myself and spent about a year studying the program. Now I offer $1,000 base price for the full service. That's, I think, the cheapest it gets if you also want to be fair to the artist, because $500 is ridiculously low. $1,000 is still ridiculously low. I only made it that because I want to make this hobby accessible to people. But I've come to a point in my skill that I can't just accept $500 for the amount of effort I put into it. In the future, I'll be further raising the price to reflect the time and effort I end up putting into these things. And that's just the model. You might have thought, oh, I just need an anime model. No, you need assets for streaming if you want to make it presentable and compete with other VTubers these days. You might have been able to gain viewers back in the day with just your avatar over gameplay, but the awe of the technology is gone for most people now. If you want to stand out among thousands of other VTubers, you can contribute by spending time and money on stream layouts, music for intro/outro/BRB screens, perhaps other illustrations of your character for alerts, etc. What I'm saying is, it's a lot. It might appear at first like an effortless way to get yourself noticed, but that's far from the truth. Even if you have the money, you absolutely can't escape spending time for this hobby. As I mentioned, the VTuber boom was quite sudden and rapid. The technology is fairly new as well. If you want to get into VTubing now, you might have a hard time finding the right artist or right animator/rigger. That's what we call the person who creates the movements for the character. For your model. It's quite a specialized field, and many people in the community with those skills find themselves with a long client list they need to get through, with only so much time of their day to animate and draw. I don't have money, and I'm an animation student, so I tried to make mine myself. It took me a long time before I came to something I'm somewhat satisfied with, and now I have a list of people who want me to make theirs, even though I'm not popular in the slightest. And can I be honest? Even if I count the amount of people who paid me for models, this hobby has not been profitable for me in the slightest. I do this because I love it. I have fun. It helps me have the confidence to try things I didn't have before, because I become this larger-than-life character in people's eyes, and it's not so strange to see an undead anime character do crazy things. And if you look at the people behind the characters of big-name companies, you'll find their starting points don't look all that different. I don't mean just the past lives that is taboo to speak of, I mean even as the talents themselves. For example, the reason I started VTubing was because of this clip I saw from Kuzuha. He's a vampire VTuber from Nijisanji, but he wasn't always with them. He started out just like us, independent, full of passion. Nijisanji wasn't a big company back in the day either, and in fact, if you watch some clips from the talents talking about the application process, it's been mentioned the website in the old days looked suspicious as hell.
超うさんくさくて最初の20歳これ超クリーンな感じじゃんこのサイト。私が応募した時は死ぬほどうさんくさかったですからね。でこのガイドラインはね今ちょっとやばいね。週に数日の活動スケジュールを確保できる方って書いてあるんだけど、私の時は毎日配信できる人って書いてあった。確かに書いてあった。で、私はもう完全に嘘ついた。毎日配信できる保証なんてかけらもないし、そんなことする気もなかったけど、受けた。
But they did it. Even though they didn't know where the road would lead. They were rewarded with success, but they worked hard for it. If these talents just relied on the technology and appeal of their characters, they never would have been as big as they are today. Just take a look at some of the craziest moments by these people. They truly showcase why people love these anime girls more than regular streamers, by pushing the limits of technology and making decisions based on what will make good impact. Take a look at this 3D live, for example. By the way, volume warning. equate VTubers to idols. Personally, I love them more than idols because of spicy stuff like that. And I already love idols. I love Idolmaster and LazuLight. But they aren't afraid to get weird and funky VTubers to make sure people supporting them are entertained. 貧しいの病の母を救うため薬を探しに森にやってきたこの森に住む神様だ母を思うお前の優しさに胸打たれお前を助けにやってきたならば大きな一物をください大きな一物をください女を言わせる大きな一物を私にくださいよし行こうAnd I hope that people recognize the value in that. I've always been wary of the idol industry, precisely because of the way they treat their talents. But what I love about VTubers, especially the indie ones, are that they are more than just expressing a character for an audience. And how people do seem to appreciate that. People love VTubers because they are more than their characters. They're creators, and they know how difficult it is to create and not be recognized for your hard work. They're genuine people who respect, and hopefully they'll be respected more and more by the people who produce them and watch them.
I've also heard that a lot of people have been picking up drawing again or picking up their hobbies again after watching my stream. And it really makes me happy because that's one of the biggest reasons I wanted to do. Well, I wanted to become a VTuber.
It's a beautiful thing too, getting to participate in a positive change in a person's life and witness it. When I watch VTubers, I'm happy because I found people who understand, are anxious, but continues to strive forward anyway in their own unique way. And those are all elements that's present in regular streamers, yes, but the set boundary gives some new approach in how to safely go about creating, especially for female presenting streamers. Okay, speaking of which, can I say something? The people who are bitter at these girls' success are so angry at them and they talk like they got it undeservingly. Like they have an unfair advantage. Please tell me where in any other media you see being a girl is an advantage as a creator. I've wanted to stream before, as myself. I've always wanted to make a gaming channel of some sort, but I was always afraid because even turning on voice chat in games was something I avoided. My voice is quite high, as you may have noticed, and that often made me receive some unwanted attention while I would play shooters or whatever. Yeah, that was already a lot for me, so I couldn't imagine how I'd ever be confident enough to regularly deal with words like that, and worse, if I started a video game channel with my face on it. The top YouTubers, also, are mostly men. Hollywood isn't a stranger to treating talents unfairly because of gender. VTubing is pretty much the only medium where being feminine is actually seen as beneficial, even by the producers of them. So even if it's true that it's an advantage to be female presenting, can we at least have this one thing? I literally can't do anything else. Plus, as I mentioned, these girls aren't just popular because of that. They're all talented and strong in their own right, and they work hard for the support they receive. It might seem crazy to see the EN girls get so many views right away, but remember that their roads were paved by many previous official VTubers who have inspired but also made mistakes on their behalf, gotten people familiar with the concept on their behalf, and now wants to share the success they found with other like-minded creators through the application process. They aren't just milking viewers. Sure, it's beneficial, but I think it's wrong to label those decisions as only filled with malice. Of course, it's absolutely important to keep a critical eye, especially in cases like streaming, and if a company is running the medium. But it's almost like a lot of people in the West are afraid of this and upset that VTubing became big, despite the fact there really isn't a difference in the creation process with other competing Western medium. It's like because it's not targeted for them, they made the decision for everyone that it's not good. And in my personal opinion, that attitude is really harmful for creators, because it's one thing to say, oh, sorry, that stuff just isn't for me, but to create all these false reasonings on why you feel like this is some evil corporate attempt to make Hatsune Miku the president of the United States with surface level inspection after going through the VTubing Wikipedia page is, to say the least, childish and misinformed. So, I hoped I could help shed some light on this process. I know this is a really new and sudden thing, so I don't blame people for being confused and perhaps even cautious at first. I wanted to help people familiarize themselves with what VTubing actually is, past the surface level, because even if I might not be profiting from this hobby, VTubing changed my life. I met so many wonderful and talented people through it and was able to create things collaboratively. There were bad times, of course, but I feel like it helped me become stronger as a person. And it truly makes me happy that there are so many other people who are having similar experiences. As an artist, I see it as creators inspiring other creators and boosting each other.
みんなとやってたら100万人いった。
めっちゃびっくりした。
ごめん、これちょっと優香すごい悩んでしまった。
おめでとう、おめでとう。
And that's all I have to say on the subject for now. I hope this video was helpful or entertaining. And if you have further insight or opinions on this experience, feel free to comment. Even if you disagree with my opinions, I love to hear why, as long as you're being respectful in the conversation. I genuinely am interested in learning unique reasons as to why some things just doesn't appeal to some people, so that I can study it and maybe find a unique way around it as a creator. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.